Right, here it is. A lot of people have been asking for this for quite some time. It's clear there's a lot of work gone into delivering this particular solution. This is an amazing device that's been created by Chaos Culture, one of the guys working for Isotonic Studios, which is a great place to get devices, by the way. And this is extremely reasonably priced given the capabilities that this device gives you. It comes with a manual and also the live project or the pack file, which you install, and that gives you access to the Chaos Culture multi-clip devices, of which there are two. Okay, so once you've opened your project up, I've got a project that I've just started here with some different sounds and 3 different MIDI parts, just purely for demonstration purposes. Okay, so the way this works is you get 2 devices. If you go to search and type in multi-clip, you'll see that there are 2 new devices in your library. One is the multi-clip V1 and the other one is the multi-clip preview note. And these obviously are both useful for doing this multi-clip editing, but the main one is the multi-clip device. Now they suggest that you create an empty MIDI track with just a simple instrument on it to put this onto, but I don't really see any reason why not to put it onto one of your active tracks. It's a really simple device here. It's got just a couple of buttons, and these are MIDI mappable and also key mappable. So a suggestion was to map this edit button to a key. So I'm going to map it to E and then come out of key map mode. So that's going to really easily enable me to access this without having to go back to the specific track that it's on to hit this button down here. So the next thing I'm going to do is hit the E button, and of course I've got my MIDI, my keyboard on at the top there, so turn that off, and now I've got E, and what happens is we get this floating tags here, and all I have to do is select the MIDI clips that I want to edit. So if I select this one and this one, you'll see they appear in the floating windows underneath. Then if I press my E key again, that confirms that selection, opens up the multiple clip editor, and immediately you can see what's going on here. I can make this window bigger. But we've got the color-coded MIDI notes from the 3 separate MIDI clips here. So we can immediately see that these colors have been inherited from the project itself, so it's super easy to identify the parts. The zooming and navigation works in the same way as the piano roll in live. You can see the loops panned out as well. And you've got the ability to select each of the MIDI clips on the left here for when you're doing editing, and there's a couple of different pencil tools up here, kind of similar to the brush and select, with some small differences which are outlined in the really good instructions manual that comes with it. Definitely worth a quick read. But it's very familiar stuff, so you'll be able to add notes and change the notation within a part, go to a different part, change the notation there, and also edit the notes that are already in there. What's interesting and quite cool is that you can see whilst you're doing this, the changes appearing. If I just open this MIDI clip, you can see the changes appearing live in the window of that clip, so we can see what's going on. And then we can perform editing functions on either the individual MIDI clips or collectively. And that's what this exclusive button here at the top is all about. So if I use this exclusive button, then when I'm using the select tool, I can only select notes within the highlighted MIDI clip. Whereas if exclusive is not armed, I can select all notes across all MIDI clips, and I can transpose and move them all simultaneously, which is one of the main features that's been asked for. And again, all of these editing features are available at the top that you would normally get. This is probably because the shortcuts don't work in the same way once you're in the editor window. We've got things like quantize, delete, duplicate, all of the stuff that we'd expect to see, undo features, navigation stuff. Great, it also, and I believe this is the grid stuff. Yeah, so grids up here. Again, worth looking into what's going on here. But this is where we come to the second device. So normally when we're editing notes in live, what we want to be able to do is to be able to hear the note being played back when we're editing. Some people don't like that mode, but personally I find it's quite useful. So what's happening here is if we activate the preview button, we can hear, as I move this note around, we can hear the different notes being played. But that's because I'm editing the track that has the multi-clip device on it. Now if I want to go to another MIDI clip in the editor here and preview that, I'm only going to hear the sound from the first MIDI track. It's the note from this second MIDI clip, but it's only the sound from here because there's no way for this track to trigger and receive the audio back, or trigger the notes from the second MIDI clip here. And that's where the second device comes in. So if we put the MIDI clip preview device onto the other tracks, then you'll notice we also have an edit button here, which gets us to the back to the editor here. We have the little headphone icon, but this now means that regardless of which MIDI clip I'm selected here to edit, providing this is set up correctly. Oh, right. That's it. Confirm. So brushed. So we're editing MIDI track 1. Let's find some notes. Okay, so that's the sound from MIDI track 1, MIDI track 2, and MIDI track 3. Brilliant. So we can edit multiple MIDI clips inside Live.